Okay, everybody, today we're going to be learning about recoloration. So, last time we were together, we talked about layers and selections. We'll be using those today. So, remember over here are our layers. Remember, we can copy and paste things, but we can also add additional layers. So, adding a layer is as easy as clicking this button right here. And you'll notice now I have a layer. However, does my picture look very different? No. Why? Because there's nothing on this layer. So sometimes we use empty layers. Why? To protect the picture underneath. So for instance, I can color on this picture now, but notice if I erase, it shows what's underneath. Layers separate work. So I can do all of this without harming my picture. If I did this without the layer, for instance, if I deleted this layer, if I painted on myself and then tried to erase, what happened? It becomes those square things. So you want to get used to using layers to protect what you're doing. So if you have a layer, work on that layer stays separate from work on other layers. So I can, again, draw on this layer with no issue. Now, you'll notice the paint tool does what you would think it does. It adds paint. But does that really recolor me, or does that just cover me over? Just colors me over. Doesn't actually make me change colors. One thing about blank layers is that they have different settings. So for instance, that's a normal layer. If I use the paint tool, over here, and of note, again, this is the regular paint tool. Make sure that you're being very careful when you're using a paint tool, because there's four or five different paint tools. There's that selection brush we did last time. There's the regular paint tool. There's something called the color match tool. There's something called the undo brush tool. Those are all brushes. You have to be really careful which one you're using. So you're using this brush right here. Second thing to note, if you hold down on it, notice it has different other brushes. The one that we're using today is just the regular paintbrush, no additional symbols. No circles, no other things, just a regular old paintbrush. So paintbrush, if I go over here and change the setting, I can change how my picture interacts with color, or how this layer interacts. So what we're going to be using today is something called an overlay. And once that is an overlay, you'll notice if I have a color, let me use a different color rather than black. Let's do this. I'll do green. You'll notice now you can see if I color, does it cover me up? Nope, it recolors. So overlays do that. Overlays allow you to change the color of things by painting over them. What's up? Yep, I can color my shirt, I can color my face, I can do whatever I want. So for instance, this can be used for a lot of interesting effects. Of note, up here at the top, you'll notice here your brush options. You can change the size of your brush, so I'm going to shrink mine down. And there's something called hardness. That's just how hard your edge is. Don't worry about, so I heard a what? So let me turn this to normal real quick so to illustrate. So notice right now my hardness is at 0%. Notice that's how my brush looks. If I turn my hardness all the way up to 100%, notice how different my brush looks. Hardness defines your edge. What's what? Hardness covers me up. So would a soft brush. The difference between a soft brush and a hard brush is just how hard it does the edge. Like for instance, I can still cover myself up with a soft brush, but you'll notice it gets fuzzy towards the edge. A hard brush has a hard edge, meaning it's a straight line. A soft brush has a soft edge, so it has a soft outline. Does that make sense, guys? I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to go back to overlay. So let's give me a makeover, guys. So for instance, this overlay effect over here again, making a new layer, putting overlay, allows you to recolor things. So you can give yourself different effects. Like you can recolor your hair, you can recolor your skin. If you've ever wanted to see what you look like with makeup, though, you can definitely do that. So let me get some eyeshadow. Is that my color? And then let's give me some lipstick. Too much? Too much? Maybe pink. Maybe pink would be better. Let's try me out in pink. But you'll notice I need to be a little bit careful, because if you saw me with the red brush, I was getting in my teeth. So notice that was making my teeth look pink. Still on my teeth. So I'm going to go and take my brush and take it even down further. I could do gold teeth. Actually, let's do that next. So notice I've got a really small brush. Still trying to go in. How's that? Better? And then gold tooth, someone said? Let's see how that looks. So the one thing you'll notice, coloration doesn't come out well on things that are white. So my naturally white teeth don't show the gold all that well. It does a little bit. I wonder if I could get like purple, maybe a darker color.
Whoa. No.
Does that work? So you notice some things don't show up as well on certain colors. You need to have a color to recolor. So whites don't come out very well. Like for instance, I can't recolor my white undershirt. So see, but I can, actually, no, that just makes me slightly purple. Ah, God, it looks like I got a bruised neck when I do that. But notice it doesn't do anything for my white shirt. So be aware of that. When you're recoloring, perfect white doesn't work. Actually, I bet I could make it look like I got a big bruise. Oh, let's give some purple. Maybe some green. I'm trying to make it look like a bruise, not like makeup. Does that look more like a bruise, or is that too... No, I just look like a clown. I just look like a clown. I went wrong here. So that is the basics of recoloration. One thing you might want to do, if you're trying to be really careful with your colors, is that you can use a selection to make sure that you don't go outside of bounds. For instance, over here with our brush select, I can select if I just wanted to color my shirt, I could do a selection over my shirt. Let me hold Alt to wipe away things that I don't want. If I'm just trying to get my shirt, I can do that. Go back to my overlay layer, and then try a very large brush. And you'll notice the only thing that colors is, whoa, how do I can't see my mouse anymore. So notice now my shirt's all blue because that selection kept it only to my shirt. Am I ready for night out, guys?
No.
So, what else should I add, guys? Nothing. Am I perfect? I don't know. I guess blush would work. Wait, I'm not on the right layer. So notice I accidentally made a new layer and I'm coloring over it. Notice how it's not see-through. Notice how it's not see-through. Again, all you have to do to make it see-through is make sure that layer is set to overlay. And if it's still too strong, you can make that layer a little bit more see-through. Am I not the prettiest princess ever? Okay, guys, so today we're practicing with color. Get a feel for the brush tools. Remember, to make this, you have to make a new layer. You have to set that layer to overlay, and then it should blend in. Questions, comments, confusions? What's up? To get an overlay layer, again, Over here in the bottom corner next to the trash can is this weird square with checkerboard marks. Use this to make a new layer. Select the layer you want to use, and then say overlay. And that should allow you to do it. So I want you guys to give your a teacher a makeover of some sort. So different things I've seen. I've seen people turn a teacher into an ICP fan. If you guys are familiar with ICP. No one watched the ICP?
No.
So this is ICP, the Insane Clown Posse. I've had someone turn in the past I've used Miss Callahan, someone turned her into Ronald McDonald. I've had people turn me into Pikachu. I've had people turn me white before, which is weird. Like race change was a very weird one. I was just like, okay, that's strange. So long story short, be creative, but the thing I need to see is that you recolor and use your tools. In Google Classroom, I'm going to add a turn-in for this. I just want to see you recolor an entire picture. So you need to change me or Miss Wilberding into a different color of some sort. Whether that's, putting makeup on me, whether that's turning Miss Wilberding to a clown. All those things fit. Just make sure that it is an obvious recolor. Questions, comments, confusions? Brush sizes are, when you're on the brush tool, once you've got it selected, you go up to here where it says width, and you can make your brush smaller or larger as necessary. You can also do harder or softer. So I'm going to hit done on this.